Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Scoops AFL Trade Wrap final day discussion. Some trades went down to the wire. There was like 10 trades in the last 10 minutes, or 9. Some didn't happen. That includes Devon Robinson didn't join any other club, so he remains at the Brisbane Lions. Brody Kemp remains at the Blues and doesn't get to the Saints. Xavier O'Halloran doesn't join the Bulldogs and stays at the Giants. And Wade Dirksen doesn't join the Demons and stays at the Giants. So Tim Embry will join the Collingwood Football Club as a delisted free agent when that opens very shortly. The Pies' Justin Lepage said he'll have a medical tomorrow. And if he passes that, essentially said that he'll be a Pies player for the future. And I can still not get over why St Kilda wouldn't offer him a contract. And he's going to be a great addition to the Pies team. He'll probably play finals and he'll be a key acquisition for the Pies when that happens. But now, we're going to talk about today's trades only. Everything else will be in an upcoming video, as I said. So let's go in order of what happened today. So it started with Shai Bolton. He's officially a Fremantle player on a 5-year deal. Fremantle get Shai Bolton, pick 14, and a future third rounder. Richmond get picks 10, 11, and 18. That's what Richmond wanted to begin with. Freo got 14 as a part of that. So essentially, they've got 2 first-round picks for Shai Bolton. So who wins this? I think Richmond win this easily because I don't think Shai Bolton is that consistent as a player. Obviously, he can change a game sometimes, but a bit like Jake Stringer to a degree, he doesn't turn up every game. But he'll have better players around him now, so maybe there'll be less pressure on him in terms of he'll have Brayshaw and Sarong and guys like that around him, Hayden Young, and some better players in the foreline, unlike Richmond. But overall, I think Richmond win this trade for sure, get 10, 11, and 18 for Bolton and 14 essentially. So Richmond definitely win that trade for me. All the trades that were very late, literally that's how it went. The Jake Stringer trade was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it wasn't look like it was going to happen. Then it happened, but we'll get to that shortly. Tom Barrass is officially a Hawthorn player. Hawthorn get Tom Barrass and a future 4th rounder from the Eagles. And West Coast get a future 1st, 2nd, and 3rd rounder, all tied to Hawthorn, not Carlton, as they had all of Carlton's future picks as well in the 1st and 2nd round. They are all Hawthorn's future 1st and 2nd picks and 3rd. So who wins that trade? That one's a really interesting one to see who you say wins that trade. But I'm going to go with I'm going with the Hawks because you don't know where those future picks are going to be, to be honest. Sure, they gave up a future 1st and 2nd and 3rd, but the first round, if they finish top 4, could be around 15. They could get pushed back due to academy and everything like that. So it's like, let's say they finish 8th Hawthorn. It'd be like pick 10, pick 26, and like 50. So it's about right for Tom Barrass anyway. So Hawthorn get the player, and West Coast hope in the future that those other players turn out to be good. They want to pick 14, but Hawthorn and West Coast and Carlton involved in all that, and West Coast couldn't get 14 with Richmond as well. So they thought they were going to use that for Liam Baker, but also they got Liam Baker previously in the previous days. So it's good for them to acquire Liam Baker. But Tom Barrass is officially a Hawthorn player, and with Battle, they'll have a good backline with James Sicily as well, if he does play in the backline. James Peatling is an Adelaide Crows player, along with a future 2nd round pick. GWS get a future 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Pretty simple, but it took a while to get this done. Who wins this? I'm going to go the Crows, purely for the fact of they've retained a future 2nd. They lost one, but they gained one. So essentially, it's James Peatling for a future 3rd and 4th. So I'm going to say that the Crows won this, but time will tell. And hopefully, if he can play James Peatling like he did at the Crows in the back end of the season, like he did at the Giants, for the Crows, like he did in the back end of the season for the Giants, the Crows have got a good player in James Peatling. Caleb Daniel is a North Melbourne player on a 4-year deal. Western Bulldogs get picked 25. Now, I am astonished that the Bulldogs got that. Why North Melbourne gave that up is ridiculous. They had the North crew on before. They said they wanted to respect the Bulldogs and let Caleb get to the club. Essentially saying Bulldogs wouldn't let him get to us any other way, which from the Bulldogs end, whatever, but it's ridiculous to say that you value this player like Jack Macrae so highly yeah, they're in and out of the team. Don't give me they've played X amount of games. Yeah, they have done that. But you've hardly played them the last 2 years, both of them. Caleb Daniel's been treated like shit for the last 2 years by Luke Beveridge, and Jack Macrae had been treated like shit this year. And both are out now, and I know they both would be glad to be out of the Bulldogs for how they were treated. All Australian level players, one All Australians in the past, made the team. So yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous how they've been treated. But North have got shafted in that trade. But here we are. Caleb Daniel, he's a good player still. He's just been underutilised at the Bulldogs the last few years, made him look bad when he's not that bad. But pick 25 is well over. So pick in the 40s was about right, even in the 50s because they weren't playing him properly. You can argue he's contracted and he's a great player and everything like that, which he is a good player, Caleb Daniel and Jack Macrae, but they weren't playing him. So the contract excuse and how highly they value him is ridiculous because if they valued them so highly, they would be playing ones every week, not being the sub, being subbed out, being bloody dropped for 5 weeks, racking up big numbers in the VFL. They're not getting back in and only when they see fit and being used for certain games and when there's injuries, etc. But it's just laughable. But Caleb Daniel is a North Melbourne player. Now, the next one we're going to go through involves North Melbourne. Luke Parker and Jacob Constanti from the Swans are both North Melbourne players. Sydney get picked 44. Jacob Constanti had some interest from the Saints and Essendon. It looked likely, apparently, according to reports, that Essendon were the favourite for him. And then in the last few hours of the trade period, Jacob Constanti is now a North Melbourne player with Luke Parker. And Brady Rawlings, the list manager at the Roos, admitted that Jacob only came up in the last few hours of the trade period. So essentially it's Luke Parker for pick 44, which is about right. Sydney get the pick they won. They weren't really valuing Luke Parker anymore, even though they say they do. Otherwise, they wouldn't let him go if they did. So I think this is good for North Melbourne, experienced player. And Jacob Constanti was a former first-round draft pick and a small forward with no opportunity at the Swans. So let's see how he goes at North Melbourne. But Luke Parker, the main part here, is join the Roos from the Swans for pick 44 with Jacob Constanti. Jake Stringer is officially a GWS player for pick 53. Essendon get in return. Stringer's probably worth more than that, but like Show Bolton, he's all over the place in form. This trade was happening. It wasn't happening. It was dead. It was buried. Then it came back. His manager said, no, we want this done, kind of sports management. They got it done in the end. Essendon gave up pick 53. Essendon want to prioritise younger players playing in the forward line like Archie Perkins, who they named Matt Rosa did after the trade period. Who wins this GWS winner? Because he goes to the Giants on a 2-year deal. Despite his inconsistencies in form, Stringer, you'll have Toby Green, Toby Bedford, Jesse Hogan, Jake Riccardi, guys like that in the forward line. So he'll fit in well there in terms of he won't have as much pressure on him because he's got much better players around him where he can go quiet and it won't really matter. Whereas at Essendon, you got a lot of pressure on him because he's like one of the main targets up there. But he's a Giants player for 2 more years. And then he'll probably be done after that, but we'll wait and see. Speaking of joining another club, as I exclusively revealed yesterday, Matt Kennedy had interest in the Western Bulldogs. He had been given a 3-year deal. He wanted to take that offer, and he got it. And Carlton let him go for pick 38. Tom Morris, I got it first, not you or anyone else that's trying to claim they got it first. I did, because I wrote the story 3 hours, Tom, before you did, and you still didn't want to give me any credit. Come on, Tom, I thought you were better than that. Lift your game. But Carlton get pick 38. This was part of the mega trade with Jack Macrae, Bailey Smith, and Matt Kennedy. So, yeah, pick 38, Carlton get. And Matt Kennedy joins the Bulldogs. It's about Matt Kennedy's worth, but I'd rather have Matt Kennedy than pick 38. But it could be a good addition to the Bulldogs, but he's just going to fall in the same position as Jack Macrae. So I don't understand why he wants to join the Bulldogs, but here we are. He has now. Now, the trade that I was very excited to have happened. The inaugural Scoops medal winner, Jack Macrae, has officially joined the Saints for pick 45. I'm up and about with this one. I love the move of Jack Macrae. Obviously, with Seb Ross going out and Brad Crouch potentially retiring, we need that more experienced body in the midfield. He's a 3-time All-Australian. He's still very good. He racks up big numbers in the twos when he was forced to play. They're getting over 40-plus disposals on multiple occasions. He's a clearance machine. He's a good kick. He's a left footer. He brings a bit of difference in the Saints midfield. It has a lot of pressure off Jack Steele. He has another veteran star mid in his side if Crouch doesn't come back. And then obviously you have the young guys like Filippo and co that push through the midfield as well. And then you got pick 7 and 8 for the Saints. So I really like the move of Jack Macrae, the inaugural Scoops medal winner, and I've been holding on this for a month or two. The moment Jack Macrae joined the Saints, I was going to bring this up, and I'm going to tell you all right now. Jack Macrae, just think this through, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Macrae was the inaugural Scoops medal winner all the way back in 2020. I spoke to Jack Macrae in 2020, and I said, I would love you to join the Saints. And he said, we will see, and smiled. And 4 years later, it has now happened. How great is it? Great to have Jack on board at the Saints, and hopefully soon I get to meet him and maybe present him the inaugural Scoops medal. That's 2 St Kilda players now that have won the Scoops medal. Jack Macrae now and Jack Sinclair. 2 Jacks as well. 2 Jacks have won the Scoops medal. Jack Macrae and Jack Sinclair. Oh, how good it is to be a Saint, man, Jack Macrae, and pumped to have him on board. I don't care that he's 30 years old. That doesn't matter. He's still a good player. He's proven when he did get a chance at the Bulldogs this season, he is still very good. And I'm really up and about to have Jack Macrae join the club. Jack Macrae. Hopefully, maybe the year after we get Finlay Macrae, his brother from the Pies. Who knows? The brothers may reunite at the Saints. We'll have to wait and see. Now, the most talked about trade, not only today, but of the entire trade period, was Bailey Smith. He's officially joined the Geelong Football Club with pick 45. Geelong had given up picks 17 and 38, which went on to the Bulldogs, a part of a mega trade which involved St Kilda, Carlton, Geelong, and the Bulldogs. Look, I'm glad Geelong didn't get him for free, but on the other hand, I wanted the Bulldogs to know that you can't overvalue someone like they have done the entire trade period with Smith and Macrae and Daniel. But then I didn't want Geelong getting him for free. So overall, they've both had to cough up. Geelong haven't given up too much. I think Geelong win the trade. But the Bulldogs got something in return. But overall, Geelong will be happy. They got their man. There's a lot of tense scenes in the rooms they kept showing on the AFL app. But they got their man, and that's what they wanted to get. Thank you for watching this video. As I said, in the coming days, I will do a full trade wrap video club by club, and I might give them a rating out of 10, or grading out of 10, whatever, or A+ and all stuff like that. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you all for watching this video. Until the next one, take care and go you mighty Saints, and all aboard the Jack Macrae train. The inaugural Scoops medal winner, Jack Macrae, has joined the Saints. Yes, let's go.